to do some Q&A afterwards as well. And the topic is the future of urban mobility. And I'll do a real quick just name and title introduction for each of our panelists. They will each present, and we'll have probably 15-20 minutes for your questions at the end. So thank you again for being here. First up, and we'll go left to right, my friend and the CEO of Formula E, Alejandro Agag. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Chris Baroni-Bird, who is the VP of Strategic Development for Qualcomm, focused on the auto space. Anthony Thompson, VP of Technology, also from Qualcomm. Paul Rivera, EVP at Ricardo and a new partner of Qualcomm. Welcome. Good to meet you today, Paul. And then Bruno Correa, who is the safety car driver, who will bring some unique perspectives to us as well. So with that, I'll hand it off to Alejandro. We'll go down the line and then we'll open it up for questions.
Thank you very much, Dan. And it's great to be back in Long Beach, which is almost a home race for Qualcomm. We're right near San Diego. And it was a great event last year, and we hope to have another great event this year. And I think if just you look at last year and this year, how things change in the world of mobility. Not to speak about how things change since we started Formula E to today. In 4 years, the world is almost a different place. But only 1 year, the automotive industry has gone through big changes and is looking into huge changes in the future. And Formula E really is a great place to observe all that and try to, include all those changes into the Formula E offering. So if you look at last year to this year, last year there was no RoboRace. This year we just presented 2 days ago the first designs of the RoboCar that is going to be racing hopefully within the next 12 to 18 months before the Formula E races. Well, it's not that there was no RoboRace, the idea didn't exist. I remember we came up with this idea on a flight back from Beijing after the Beijing E3, which was only like 5 months ago. And now we have already designs, and that car that you've seen in those pictures is already being built. Not just a concept that maybe will happen in 10 years. We are already building that car and experimenting with different algorithms and so on that will drive those cars around the track. But that's only one example of the evolution of the motor industry, and I think the rest of the panelists will go in more detail into that. But clearly, and from this observatory of Formula E, we see that the industry is going obviously on electric. And again, last year there was only 1 or 2 Tesla models in the road, now there are 4. There was just the Tesla 3 introduced a couple of days ago, and the Tesla X was introduced a few days ago. So more, and this is to speak about Tesla, more and more car makers are going into electric, and they're new models. And the key, the tipping point, and there was a very interesting report from Bloomberg Energy Finance a few weeks ago, the tipping point where the price of the batteries and the evolution or the expansion of the electric car market is going to cause a new oil crisis is going to happen between 2022 and 2028. So at some point between 2022 and 2028, the switch to electric cars is going to provoke a decrease on the demand of oil that is going to provoke another crash on oil price. So if you think of that, that would have been unthinkable even to speak about that 3 or 4 years ago or even last year. But we are actually, I think we were quite lucky, or maybe we had a good vision in the past, but we are just where things are going. On electric, on driverless, and electric and driverless cannot really exist without connected, because the key for the electric cars to really get all the juice out of them, all the profit for society out of the electric cars, and out of the driverless cars, only happens if they are connected. So for example, electric car, driverless cars, and an interesting statistic is that 97% of all the accidents are caused by a human error. So driverless cars won't have human errors, per definition. But one of the interesting benefits of driverless cars is that cars can drive much closer to each other. and you can manage traffic much better. But that only will happen if they're all connected. Connected car to car, connected to pedestrians, connected to the red lights, connected to the traffic system, connected to everything, which is what I'm sure Qualcomm will take care of worldwide. But it's fascinating how all these things are happening so quickly. I mean, there are elements of driverless also that will change completely the design of the cars. Cars going both ways is really one of the big advantages that you could have with driverless. Cars that are identical going backwards or going forward, and then they can just go across the road or go pick up a passenger, because again, another element is the connected fleets. Nobody owns a car, the fleet is out there and you just use it. But these cars can go forward, backwards, in any direction if they are driverless. So this changes completely the design of the cars. If you look at the robocar, okay, the robocar is like almost like an arrow. It has a direction, but it's pretty symmetric. So you could imagine robocars that are totally, you know, they're the same on one way or the other. So I'm mixing a lot of different issues here, a lot of different ideas, but you know, the problem is, or the fascinating thing is, they're all happening at the same time. And what we want is that they all happen around the Formula E ecosystem. Formula E needs to be at the front of everything that's happening in the motor industry. Electric almost seems like an old thing now. It's already given for granted. I mean, when Apple, or the rumors are Apple is going to make a car, nobody thinks that car is going to be a combustion car. Everybody just gives for granted it's going to be electric. But connected and driverless are the next two big elements of the future of the motor industry. And these three elements, electric, connected, and driverless, are really where Formula E wants to be. So we hope to be able to offer you very soon not only an electric car race, but a connected electric car race, which I think we are already doing with fan boost, with the human telemetry, with many other things. And soon a driverless race, which, you know, many people, when we announced it 5 months ago, thought they were crazy. Now they don't think so much they were so crazy. 4 years ago they thought we were crazy because we were going to launch Formula E. And you will see that in a year everybody will think, oh, this was a good idea. So hopefully we'll be able to show those cars. I don't know if we will be ready for next year Long Beach. Maybe it's a bit too early for a race. Definitely for a demonstration of a prototype. But for sure, end of next season or beginning of the season 4, we will have these RoboRaces. So anyway, just a few of the ideas for the future of motor industry and where Formula E is. You know, of course, the interesting thing is 4 years ago, very few people believed in Formula E, and some partners, the partners that joined at that time, joined the project that had approximately 50-50 chances of success and failure. We could even say that it has 70% of failure and 30% success chances. And those were partners like Qualcomm, who joined the project knowing that the project would fail. Which I remember very well our first meetings with Qualcomm. Formula E was only a PowerPoint when we started talking with Qualcomm. And I think that was one of the things that excited Qualcomm, the possibility of failure, but meaning the possibility of doing something very pioneering that if it succeeded, it would be something very important. No? So we're very glad to at least be able to make it to here, and I think we will have a very long and fruitful, well, we actually have a very long and fruitful contract. We will have a very long relation for sure with Qualcomm, and there will be many fascinating new technologies that Qualcomm will provide to the championship. So thank you very much.